This is for the students of BCom third semester of Bengaluru North University. In this video lesson, we are going to learn the Bishop's Candlesticks. It is a one-act play by Norman Macdonald. It is an adaptation of a section of Victor Hugo's Les Miserables. Hello, namaste to everyone. I am Professor Venkatarama Beer, Assistant Professor of English, Government First Grade College, Guduvande. Friends, now let's come to the contents of this video discussion. In this session, we are going to have the comprehension part of the text, the Bishop's Candlesticks, wherein we are going to discuss the important questions and also the answers which are most appropriate. At the end, we have some multiple choice questions. Please do stay and watch the video till the end. The Bengaluru North University, in its question paper pattern, has three types of questions. The first set of questions will be of the short answer type questions. They are also called as objective questions. These objective type questions will be tested for 2 marks each. Well, followed by that, we have a long answer type questions. These will be tested for 5 marks. Then the third important set of questions will be essay type questions. These will be tested for 10 marks in our university examination. I am sure this video will help you to answer all the questions that is expected to be asked in your examination. So please do watch the video till the end. Friends, before going to discuss the questions and also the answers, let me tell you, I am just giving you a model answer that is for your reference. I do strongly recommend you to elaborate on the questions depending on your views and opinions. In these short answer type questions, the first and foremost question is, why was Parsum rude to Mary? Parsum was rude to Mary because she thought that Mary and all other people were taking advantage of her brother's kindness. The second question is, although it was late at night, why had the bishop not returned? The bishop did not return early because he had gone to visit Mary's unwell mother and pray for her. The third question reads as, why does Parsum feel that people pretend to be sick? Parsum felt that the people pretended to be sick as they wanted the bishop to visit them and also pray for them. The fourth question is, why had the bishop gone to visit Mary Greengoyle? The bishop had gone to visit Mary Greengoyle because she was bedridden and so she could not work on parent. And because of this, she was threatened to return out from her rented house. The fifth question is, what did the bishop give Mary as she was going out and why? What trait to the bishop's character does it highlight? The bishop gave Mary his comforter as she was going out because of the extremely cold weather. This shows the bishop to be a caring and generous person. The sixth question is a multiple choice question. It reads as, why is Parsum angry with the bishop? The first choice for this question is, the bishop has sold her salt cellars. The second one is, the bishop has gone to visit Mary Greengoyle. The third one is, he showed extra concern for Mary. The fourth one is, she disliked the bishop. The appropriate answer for this question is, the bishop has sold her salt cellars. The seventh question is, what was the punishment given to the convict? Or, why was the convict sent to the prison? The answer is, the convict was caught red-handed while stealing a loaf of bread. The convict was imprisoned for 10 years. He was chained, treated like an animal, and forced to feed on filth. he was covered with vermin. The eighth question is, why were the doors in the bishop's house never bolted? The doors in the bishop's house were never bolted or left open so that anyone needing help could come in freely. The ninth question is, who was Janity? What caused her death? Janity was the victim's girl. Janity was the convict's wife. The cause of her death was starvation and sickness. The 10th question is, the convict says, I am too old a bird to be caught with chaff. What does he mean by this statement? The convict means he is too experienced a person to be trapped by soft words. Come to the 11th question. What is special about the candlesticks? The candlesticks were very special because they were a gift from his dying mother, whom the bishop loved a lot. Why was the convict sent to prison? What was the punishment given to him? The convict had stolen money to buy food for his dying wife. He was sentenced to a prison ship where he was chained like an animal and fed on filth. He was lashed if he complied. Why is a convict eager to reach Paris? The convict is a runaway prisoner. He was eager to reach Paris because he felt that if he reaches Paris, which is a big city, he can get lost there. The police could not find him and he could start a new life. Let's come to the 14th question. Before leaving, the convict asks the bishop to bless him. What brought about this change in him? The bishop's kindness and faith in him and his forgiveness brought about a change in the convict. Now let's move on to the long answer type questions. We shall also discuss the appropriate answers. The first question is, do you think the bishop was justified in selling the silver salt cellars to the bishop? It was a burden to possess any material thing and be attached to it if there was someone in deep pain, suffering because of the lack of money or any other reason. He sold his silver salt cellars to pay for the rent of Mary Gringo's house. She was sick and bedridden and not in a condition to work. If the rent was not paid, the bailiff would wait no longer and threatened to turn her out of the house that day itself. One can imagine how miserable it would be for her then. In such a situation, the bishop was justified in selling the silver salt cellars. Now let's come to the second question. The second question is, the convict says that I am too old a bird to be caught with chaff. What does he mean by this statement? The convict says this line when the bishop wishes to go out to bring the keys to the cupboard to get him food. The convict is a hardcore criminal and so he thinks that the bishop would go out and raise an alarm to get the police to arrest him. The convict has spent 10 years in jail and is well aware of all the tricks and excuses that people make to trap others. That is why he does not believe the bishop when he tries to go out to bring the cupboard keys. By this statement, he means to say that he is well experienced so that he cannot be fooled. When on asking for food by the convict, the bishop tries to call his sister for the keys to the cupboard. The convict thinks that the bishop is making a plan to nab him. Now let's come to the third question. The third question reads as, the convict says, they have made me what I am. They have made me a thief. He explained the circumstances that made the convict a thief. I hope the following points will help you to answer this question. 10 years ago, the convict lived in a small cottage with his wife, Janet. His wife fell seriously ill. At the time, the convict was without a job. Janet needed food and medicine, so he stole money to buy her food. He was caught and sent to the prison ships. Here he was treated very badly. He was chained and lashed with whips. He was treated not as a human being but as an animal. His name and soul were taken away from him. This inhuman treatment changed the man into a beast. Now let's come to the fourth question. Who is Mary Gringoire? What help does she receive from the bishop? Mary Gringoire is an old sick woman who has been bedridden for a long time. She lives at the top of the hill and she has not been able to pay her rent. The bailiff has threatened to throw her out of the house unless the rent is paid. The bishop sells the silver salt cellars to Monsignor Gervais, who had often admired them so that he could get the money to pay the rent for Mary Gringoire. Now let's move on to the fifth question. It reads as, who was Janet? What was the cause of her death? Janet was the wife of the convict. It was 10 years back that the tragedy took place in his life. It was a bad year and he could not get any work. Janet was ill and there was no food in the house. So the convict stole to buy her food. But he was caught and given 10 years of imprisonment. The night he was sentenced, she died. It was the convict's poverty that had led him to her death. Now let's come to the sixth question. It reads as, identify the incidents that changed the convict's life. Do you think the convict should be treated the way the bishop treated him to reform? Yeah, let us discuss the question. The convict was originally a good man. Once, when he did not have any job and his wife was ill and he did not have any money to get even food for her, he stole some money to buy her food. He was caught by the police and given 10 years of imprisonment for such a minor theft. A tragedy occurred in his life with the death of his wife on the day he was awarded 10 years of imprisonment. In the prison, he was fed on filth, lashed and tortured if he questioned even a little bit. All this changed his life completely. And he turned from a man to a wild beast. He lost faith in himself as well as others completely. The way Bishop treated the convict is marvelous in my opinion. This is a piece of clear evidence of the falseness of the belief that criminals can be changed through punishment. Although it may not seem to be a very practicing thing, it is undoubtedly correct that true love and compassion of the bishop only reformed the convict, preventing him from committing crimes further, making the life hell for himself as well as others. So, I am sure that the convict should be treated the way the bishop treated him to reform. Now let's come to the seventh question. It reads as, why was the convict sent to prison? What was the punishment given to him? Do you think the punishment given to the convict was justified? Why? Why not? Why is the convict eager to reach Paris? Maybe all this put together, You will have some other type of question also in the examination. Let us discuss the answer for this question. The convict was sent to prison for stealing. He had stolen money so that he could buy his wife some food and medicine. He was sentenced to 10 years of prison hulk. The punishment given to the convict was not justified. It is too inhuman for someone who was caught stealing just to feed his sick wife. The convict was eager to reach Paris to escape from the police. He thought that as Paris was an enormous and densely populated city, the police could not identify and arrest him in the future. Now let's come to the 8th question. The question reads as, why did the bishop not go to the police when his silver candlesticks were stolen? The bishop did not go to the police because he was forgiving by nature. He wanted to help the convict and sympathized with him for all the suffering and pain he had gone through during his imprisonment. He also wanted to save his soul and bring him closer to God. Moreover, he felt if he was sent back to prison, he would become worse than before. Come to the 9th question. The question reads as, the convict says to the bishop, I was a man, now I am not a man. Why and how? The convict enters the house of the bishop. He appears to be very restless. He had been running away from the police. He thought that the bishop's house was the safest place to hide. The bishop thinks him to be just an ordinary man. He has no intention to hand him to the police. The convict is completely fed up with his life. He thinks himself to be dead. The convict says to the bishop that once he was a man, but now he is just a number 15729, which he was given in the prison and had been called so far the last 10 years. Before that, he had a little cottage surrounded by vines growing on it. He had a wife. Once she was ill and they had no food. He was workless. His wife was dying. He stole for the first time to feed his wife. He was caught. None of his pleas was considered and he was put in jail for 10 years. During those 10 years, he was in hell, treated very badly, even worse than the beast. The hellish treatment ruined his life. He was chained like a wild animal and lashed like a hound. He was fed on filth and covered with vermin. There was no one to listen to his complaint. So, he says to them that he was a man once, but now he was only a beast. Now let's come to the 10th question. The question reads as, before leaving, the convict asked the bishop to bless him. What brought about this change in him? The convict did not experience love and compassion for a long time in his life. The bishop showed extreme love and sympathy towards the convict, although the convict stole his silver candlesticks and treated his sister with violence. Understanding the circumstances in which the convict stole the candlesticks, the bishop told the police that the convict was his friend. He told the sergeant that He had gifted the candlesticks to the convict to spare his life from being imprisoned for the second time. He even asked the convict to take away the candlesticks so that he could go to Paris and begin a settled life. Hence, the genuine love and caring attitude of the bishop brought about a change in the hardened heart of the convict. Hence, before leaving, the convict asked the bishop to bless him. Now let's come to the 11th question. It reads as, why does the bishop allow the convict to take away the candlesticks and escape to Paris? Or you may have a different version of asking the same question, like, why was bishop attached to the candlesticks and what did he do with them in the end? The silver candlesticks were a prized possession for both the bishop and his sister. The candlesticks were a parting gift from the bishop's mother when she was on her deathbed. The bishop could never have thought of parting ways with this memento in his lifetime. The candlesticks were the only thing he was emotionally attached to. He assures Parsuum that he will always take care of them despite all odds. In the end, the bishop supported him by giving the candlesticks to the convict to restart an honorable life. He wanted the convict to sell the candlesticks and start his life all over again in Paris. He told the convict that in each person's body there is the temple of the living God. The bishop did all this because he sincerely wanted the convict to be a good human being and lead a normal life by giving up all the sufferings of his past. Now let's come to the 12th question. The 12th question reads as, identify the situations which are termed as the turning point in the convict's life. The term turning point means any situation which brings a decisive change in events in somebody's life. The convict in the play The Bishop Candlesticks confronts several situations that may be termed as a turning point. The situations are: the convict was a normal human being living with his wife. Once his wife got seriously ill, the convict, due to unemployment, could not even buy food. This led him to steal and buy food for his dying wife. This was a turning point as the police nabbed him. From an ordinary human being, he became a convict. Another turning point in the convict's life was when he escaped from the prison and broke into the house of the bishop. In Bishop's house, he could experience the practice of noble Christian ideals like benevolence and mercy in the conduct of the bishop. While at the bishop's house, he saw the silver candlesticks which he stole. Another turning point in the convict's life was when the police caught him with the candlesticks. They arrested him and brought him back to the house of the bishop. But the bishop asked the policeman to release the convict, saying that he was his guest and the silver candlesticks had been gifted to the convict by him. The bishop told the convict to take the candlesticks and move to Paris, where he could start a new life. This event changed his life. 13th question. The convict was a victim of circumstances. Do you agree or disagree? Give reasons. Yes, I agree that in the Bishop Candlesticks, the convict was a victim of circumstances. The convict was not a criminal to begin with. The convict in the play The Bishop Candlesticks confronts several situations that may be termed as a turning point. The situations are: the convict was a normal human being living with his wife. Once his wife got seriously ill, the convict, due to unemployment, could not even buy food. This led him to steal and buy food for his dying wife. This was a turning point as the police nabbed him. From an ordinary human being, he became a victim. He was poor and jobless, and he did not have the money to provide for his basic needs of his wife, who was sick and bedridden. The immediate need for food and the lack of resources to get the food compelled him to steal as an easy way out. But he was caught in the act of stealing and was sent to prison for 10 years. Let's come to the 14th question. The question reads as, describe the bishop in your own words with examples from the lesson. The bishop is a loving and self-sacrificing person. The people in the parish send for him whenever they are in trouble, and he rushes to their aid in all kinds of weather, unmindful of his comfort. He has sold all his possessions except for a pair of silver candlesticks given to him by his dying mother to help the poor. His sister Porsom says his estate is sold, his savings have gone, his furniture, everything. The bishop is a caring person and he wraps his comforter around Mary when she is about to go out in the cold night air. The bishop's innocence often earned him the anger of his sister Porsom. But he gently remarks, if people lie to me, they are poorer, not I. Being a compassionate man, the bishop is heard lamenting. There is so much suffering in the world, and I can do so very little. He is kind and generous towards the convict. The convict enters his house stealthily, threatens him with a knife, and after receiving food and hospitality from the bishop, steals his candlesticks. But when the gendarmes bring him back to the bishop's house, the bishop claims he has given the candlesticks to the convict. It is this compassion that changed the convict. The bishop is also a deeply religious and pious man. He advises the convict to lead a good life, as this poor body is a temple of the living God. Let's move to the 15th question. It reads as, how does the bishop prove that the human body is a temple of the living God? Did he succeed? When the convict entered the bishop's house, he was a criminal with no feeling for humanity. He was more of a beast than a man. But by the time he left him, the bishop had shown him with his loving, forgiving, helping and compassionate attitude that the human body is a temple of living God. The bishop knew well that the convict was not born that way, but certain circumstances had changed him into doing evil deeds. Helping the convict to vent to his suffering, and by protecting him from the police, the bishop had touched the convict's heart to such an extent after many years that he realizes that he is a human being and not a beast, as he had started thinking himself to be. The convict understands clearly what the bishop meant by saying that the human body is the temple of the living God. Now let us come to the 16th question. The question reads as, the bishop is a living example of the greatest tenet of Christianity, forgiveness. Justify this statement by giving evidence from the text. Indeed, the bishop is a living example of the greatest tenet of Christian forgiveness. This is evident from the incident of the stealing of candlesticks. Despite all the love and care that the bishop had shown to the convict, when he left, he stole the bishop's precious candlesticks. However, he was caught by the police who brought him to the bishop's house. Instead of getting angry or getting the convict imprisoned, the bishop told the police that the convict was not a thief but his friend, whom he had given the candlesticks himself. He also told the police to let the convict go. Not only this, when the convict who was so touched by the bishop's actions decides to go to Paris to start a new life, the bishop gave him the candlesticks, which were his mother's gift to him and thus very precious. The bishop blessed the convict and asked him to sell the candlesticks and start a new life in Paris. This was so touching and unbelievable for the convict that he cried, and all his burden of suffering of the past years just disappeared then and there. Now let's come to the 17th question. The question reads as: the bishop's sister is more practical than him. Discuss the character of Persum as seen in the play. The bishop's sister Persum was more practical in many ways compared to her brother. She is a short-tempered woman who is seen being quick to rebuke and is also found getting angry at Mayor Gringoire for asking for money from the brother. Most of her faults seem to be born out of her life and concern for her brother. She loves her brother to a fault and is very protective of him. She feels people take advantage of his kindness and generosity. She is more practical because, unlike her brother, the bishop who sees no merits or values in the treasures of the world but only cares for the people. She, on the other hand, is a shrewd woman because she feels she has to take off her brother and fend off people from taking advantage. She sees her brother's act of selling the silver salt cellars as irresponsible because it was a valuable item. She also disapproves of her brother giving away all their possessions to help other people because that way they would have nothing left. She is practical in worldly and materialistic matters. Now let's come to the 18th question. The question is: what is the theme of the play The Bishop's Candlesticks? The play deals with the redemption of the soul through love and forgiveness. The convict who was sent to prison for stealing money to buy food for his sick wife was treated inhumanly. He was chained and lashed with whip. This inhuman treatment turned the man into a beast who was ready to steal and kill. The kind-hearted and benevolent bishop, always ready to lend a helping hand to anyone in distress, softened the convict's heart. His love and compassion turned the beast into a man again. Touched by the bishop's forgiveness, the convict sought the blessings. Thus, the play brings the message that the aim of the punishment should be the reformation of the wrongdoer through making him realize his guilt and not turning the law-abiding citizen into a criminal. Let us come to the 19th question. The question reads as: justify the title of the play The Bishop's Candlesticks. The Bishop's Candlesticks is the most appropriate title for the drama, as it was the candles that become the focal point and occupy a very important place both for the bishop as well as for the convict. For the bishop, they were very precious because they had been given to him by his mother when she was on her deathbed. The bishop was a saintly person and was ready to give away any of his belongings for the welfare of the others except for these candlesticks, as his mother's memories were associated with them. But when he saw the convict had stolen away from his candlesticks, he felt bad. His emotions were deeply hurt. Fortunately, he got the candlesticks back when the police caught him and brought him to the bishop for identification. Finally, when the convict got reformed and decided to go to Paris to start a new life, the bishop gave to him as a help the most precious thing of his life, the candlesticks. The drama is deeply associated with the emotions attached to the candlesticks, and thus I feel the title The Bishop's Candlesticks is quite appropriate. Now let's come to the 20th question, that is, what is the message conveyed in the play? The Bishop's Candlesticks is a one-act play with a Christian story. Its main focus is on the transformation of a man through realization. The bishop is the main character who represents a true devotee of a Almighty of God. He appears to be a real Christian character who has all the faith in God. He helps mankind in all his capacity. He gives all his belonging to help the needy and the poor. His realist character is at its height when we see the convict episode. A convict gets shelter in his house. His sister Parsum opposes his stay, but the bishop does not take him to be a criminal. He thinks the criminal is just a human being and there is no harm in allowing him to stay with him. The convict did not conceal anything about himself. He has no feeling nor trust for God or human. So, he steals the bishop's candlesticks and runs away. Incidentally, he was caught by the police. He is brought to the bishop for recognition of the candlesticks as they bear the name of the bishop. The bishop tells the police that the convict was his friend, and the bishop had himself given the candlesticks to him. It makes the convict feel and realize the power of godly existence. He is completely transformed. The bishop's preaching works well and proves that no one is born a criminal. The situation makes one so, and if treated with compassion and sympathy, one can put on the right path. Now let's come to the essay type questions. In your examination, you will find a question like, write about the importance of silver candlesticks in the play. The silver candlesticks were very important in the play. They play a pivotal role as the main course of action centered around it. Its importance can be felt when we come to know that they were a gift to the bishop and his sister pursued by their mother when the latter was in her deathbed. Secondly, they were extremely expensive as they were made of silver. They are a reason behind the change in plot. The convict had come to eat food at the bishop's house and stole the candlesticks at night. This incident became the turning point of the convict's life Because after this, when he was caught for stealing, he was given a choice to change his life by the bishop. The convict became a completely changed man because of the entire incident. Now let's move on to another question, that is, explain the two incidents which changed the convict's life. Let us come to the first incident. The convict was a good man but begins to steal to feed his sick wife. He got caught by the police and imprisoned for 10 years, during which his wife died. For the bad deed he has done, he lost his identity. He escaped and entered the bishop's house, and with a knife he threatened the bishop to kill him, but the bishop called him son and served him bread, pie, and wine. With this treatment, the convict felt comfortable and warm. The convict then shares his sad story of how, from a good man, he became a number. Now let's come to the second incident. After he was caught by the police a second time with the bishop's candlesticks, the bishop calls him his friend and tells the police that the candlestick was gifted by him. The police leave the convict and he goes away. This made the convict realize the value of forgiving, kindness, and being honest, and he decides to change his life to lead a respectable life.